Who is the most equipped then?
The LA Lakers.
The Lakers.
I'm going to go with the Lakers.
The Lakers.
Whenever you have LeBron James and Luka Doncic as your primary ball handlers and AR as a third option, I love that because now you can put the ball in each of those guys' hands. I felt as though, and I said this to you earlier, I felt as Anthony Davis was in LeBron's way. You know what I mean? Because LeBron's really a 4 now, and that's the position that Anthony Davis wanted to play. He was always on the box. He wasn't really stretching the 3 that well. Now you add another guard, not even just another guard. Let's just make that clear. You add top 5 guard in the NBA.
Top 5 player
that can get it from anywhere, and he's a matchup nightmare. When 77 walk in the building, OKC, Minnesota, Phoenix, Clippers, they dread seeing him. And now he got 2-3 on his back, right with him. And what does that equal to?
100.
Okay, listen to this, man. Hey,
I remember some math from college, man.
Listen to this.
A little bit.
Hey,
usually I just use a calculator on my phone.
Anytime it equal to 100, listen. Hey, man, you got a problem. So if LeBron and Luka stays healthy, I feel like that's.
I mean, I think the Lakers definitely have a shot for sure. I think it would be an unbelievable series because not only do you have LeBron like shooting threes at over 40%, it's amazing how he's become a knockdown shooter playing off Luka. He can cut, he can screen, he does everything. But their defense has been dominant as well. Your brother Markieff got traded there.
Yeah.
What was the reaction between you guys when you found that out?
Crazy story, man. We just so happened to be on the phone late night one day. You know, we've talked a lot. You know what I mean? We talk basketball, we talk sports, we talk our podcast, you know what I'm saying? So we do sports betting a lot. Not NBA, but college, you know, NFL. So, you know, we were just going over the games or like nightly thing. He just landed or whatever. And just this particular night, we just was chopping it up about hoop. And I'm like, man, like, how y'all doing over there in Dallas? Like, you think y'all gonna make any trades? And that was crazy because that was the real conversation. I'm like, you think y'all gonna do something? And I'm not gonna tell you who he said was gonna get traded, but he like, yeah, it's going X, Y, and Z. Those guys, they gonna get traded. That's what they looking at. You know, we're looking to upgrade. And for some reason, he just took like a pause and he like, bro, the GM just texted me. I'm like, he just texted you. What did he say? He like, no, this can't be real. And I'm like, what happened? So he told me like, basically, you know, he's been traded. So I'm like, you've been traded? Like, how? Why? To who? Like, why would they even trade you? You're not playing. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, everybody knew the leadership that he brought to Dallas. So it was like, it didn't even make sense, right? So he like, just let me give you a call back. So I'm like, all right, cool. So now I'm sitting there with my wife, and I'm like, damn, they just traded Keith. I think he might retire, actually. Because he was telling me, like, man, I can't do this no more. Like, he just bought a house in Dallas, right? So he was just doing that, and he was just like, man, it's just too much at this point. I'm not even playing. It's like I'm almost babysitting at this point. So he was like, I'm done. I don't even care where I'm going to. 3 minutes later, he called me back. He said, bro, Luka Doncic has just been traded. And I'm like, what the can I curse?
Yeah, you can
I'm
curse.
like, what the how is Luka Doncic traded? Like, does that even make sense? So now, when he said the Lakers, I said, you going to the Lakers, right? He said, hell yeah, I'm going to Lakers. And I'm thinking to myself, bro, you know, you might just have won another championship. Like, literally, you really might just have won a championship. And the part about it that I think a lot of people don't see is that Keith and Luka has a really good relationship, like a really good relationship. So I think that they probably noticed that and they wanted, you know what I mean, Luka to feel better, to go into a new place where you have somebody that's, you know, that's been a teammate. Also, Dorian Finney-Smith, he's been a teammate of him. And then Max Kleber, you know, he's been injured, so no one really talking about him. I think the dynamic of that really helped, and also Keith played there. So the Lakers really wanted him to come. Brian asked for him to come. So it was like the dynamic, once I sat back and thought about it, I was like, it actually might help your career now. It might give you a breath of fresh air. We're doing a little media thing with the podcast, so it might actually help, right? And the entire time, I just couldn't put my finger on why the would they trade Luka Doncic.
Have you had any clarity since then?
I didn't. I really don't. And I still, you know, this is no disrespect to any of the players. Like, Anthony Davis is a really good player, really good career. I don't think that match. I just didn't think it matched, you know, up to what Luka has done, like, this far in his career, such a short, such a short career of like the scoring titles, the triple doubles, getting to the championship, right? If he had a few beers or whatever that may be. But let me just take you back when I seen Michael Finley take that beer out of his hand. And I know a lot of people might not have looked at that, but as a player, I didn't like how that looked, right? Like, we just won, we celebrating and have a beer, it's cameras, and you kind of take that away from me. It's like almost you're trying to like hint at something, right? And I did as a player at that stature, I didn't agree with that. I didn't agree how they kind of try to paint that picture. So now, fast forward, you kind of painting that picture the entire time that he has a drinking problem, that he's overweight, right? And I don't feel as though that has anything to do with his play. Yes, he was injured. A lot of players get injured all the time. A lot of players take a long time to come back, but his production level is through the roof. So how do you sum up, okay, it's time to trade this guy? Like, how does that come to your mind? And then not only that you trade him to the LA Lakers, a team that you have to see every year, 4 times a year in the playoffs. So what do you think is about to happen when he goes to the Lakers? You think he's going to be, who you think? He's going to be Luka Doncic 0.20. He's going to kill. He has the best player possibly ever. Now he can see the work ethic. Now you can see what goes into the day and day of being greatness, right? So if I'm Dallas, man, I'm looking at all that. I'm not just looking at trading Luka Doncic. I'm trading Luka Doncic that I still have to see every year. Now, if you trade him to the East Coast for Jason Tatum, let's say, now you don't got to see him. Different conference. Yeah. You don't have to see him no more. Like, then that makes sense. But now you still have to see this. You have to see this 4 times a year. We talking about possibly the best player in the NBA for years to come, because what he does doesn't need athleticism. He could do the same thing for 10 more years, literally.
Yeah, I mean, and now LeBron's career could be extended as well. Playing with Luka. I mean, I still can't wrap my head around it. It's been over a month now.
I can't.
I still can't believe it actually happened. And obviously LeBron is out injured right now. Hopefully, he's able to be healthy come playoff time and all that. But Luka playing with this guy, you might see the best version of Luka ever as well. Despite the heights that he's already reached, he still hasn't won an MVP.
Right.
But you could see the best version of Luka ever as well. And so are you surprised? One thing I'm curious about with the Lakers, you say they're best equipped to beat OKC. I assume that means, yes or no, they're your pick to go to the finals in the West?
Yes.
They're your pick for the finals.
Like the Lakers.
Part of it's their defense. Yeah. And Luka, I feel, even offensively, he's still not at his peak levels yet. Defensively, he's played well as a cog on what has been an unbelievable defense going back to prior to the deal when AD was sidelined out injured. What is it about this Lakers defense that you feel like is translatable to the playoffs?
The best part about it is they're not really scheming right now. They're just like going into it, let's switch 5, let's switch 4. They're not scheming. When you put minds of LeBron James comes back and now you're scheming for a team in a 7-game series, right? Okay, they might do this with Luka. They might try this with Luka. Now you have the minds of JJ Redick and LeBron putting Luka in the best spots. So even if he was a small liability, we'd be able to cover that up just off of thinking the game, right? Scouting the game, seeing things that other teams don't see, putting them in positions where people can cover for him, right? I think that people looking past that. Yes, Luka he might not play defense that well, but most superstars don't, right? Most superstars don't play both sides, but most superstars don't average almost a triple-double. Most superstars can't get 50-point triple-doubles and still play both sides of the floor, right? So my thing is the team is well-equipped to be able to cover anything that he has that might be magnified on the defensive end.